During their preparations to evacuate the Nostromo in the hopes of leaving the alien threat that had been terrorizing the ship behind, Parker and Lambert each came face to face with the beast, and died at its hands. Parker made his best efforts to save Lambert, though the pure fear of seeing the xenomorph left her in a state of near catatonia, and Parker was unable to attack it with the flame units, fearing he would hit Lambert as well. Despite his urgent pleas for her to get out of the way so he could get a clear shot, she remained frozen, and in a desperate final attempt at saving her, Parker went up to attack the alien head-on, to little effect. Even the distraction itself that could have allowed Lambert to escape was, too, unfortunately ineffective. Parker was killed quite quickly, and Lambert was next. Parker's actions, though still resulting in both their deaths, did reveal some vulnerabilities in the alien. He proved that the creature could be distracted, and a human, if as strong as the Nostromo's engineer, could even fend it off physically, albeit briefly. In its early inceptions, the standoff between Parker and the alien was meant to go on a little longer, and show more of a struggle. His death was meant to be much more violent, and bloody as well. Footage providing insight into this gruesome death does exist, but so far has not found its way back to any versions of the film. Unlike other revised scenes and elements of Alien, it remains exactly as it was back in 1979. Much like any of the other incredibly effective scenes, the magic final touch came from the editing room. Producer Alan Laddie, had suggested keeping the editing as tight as possible and the blood and guts to a minimum. Ridley Scott and editor Terry Rawlings took this to heart, working on the tried-and-true Hitchcockian principle of what you don't see, and what is left to your imagination to fill in is often scarier than anything actually shown on the screen. This moment in particular had some flexibility and room for creative input. The script and novelization describe Parker being killed instantly when the alien first strikes, and make no mention of a subsequent struggle. The film is of course known for containing a lot of ad-libbing and improvisation, and actor Yaphet Kotto also had his input in the scene and his own idea of how things should have happened. In the documentary The Beast Within, Making Alien, Ridley Scott recalls, "Yaphet was always evolving, and God bless him, he was driving me crazy, coming to me with a million ideas on a daily basis. Even to the extent that on the day he was supposed to die, saying, 'I'm not gonna die today. I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch.'" With different versions of the scene considered and the crucial editing process involved, the version we got in 1979 remains very shocking, and I think they made all the right calls. The scene moves quickly, and right before he dies, he has some final words. In the heat of the moment, with tension at an all-time high point, a viewer might not quite catch the dialogue, especially back in 1979 when you couldn't Google it or watch a clip on YouTube to figure it out. I'll confirm right now that he's shouting to Lambert, telling her, "Get out of the room." I know, that seems straightforward enough. Seems like it's clear enough to be heard. Any closed captioning on any format of the movie should verify this quite easily. But there were some fans, and perhaps even still are, who adamantly believed Parker isn't addressing Lambert in this scene. He's speaking to the alien, yelling, "God damn you." So maybe it's kind of a Yanni or Laurel kind of situation, but I find it very, very interesting that there are people who remember the dialogue this way. I find that very interesting because I think there actually might be some very good reason for that. Sure, you couldn't Google that information back then, you couldn't even wait a few months for it to come in video at the time, but what you could do was pick up Alan Dean Foster's novelization of the film, and or Heavy Metal's Alien the Illustrated Story, both published in 1979. Though the novel version, as stated earlier, does not include any struggle and depicts the alien killing Parker instantly, his last words, while charging at the alien, are, "God damn you." The illustrated story has a little bit more fun with this moment, shows more of the struggle, and is gloriously bloody, but it shares the same final words of Parker before dying, "God damn you." In this case, repeated over. This line is also in the final script of Alien. Maybe those who enjoyed these different versions of the story through the novel and the comic retain that dialogue in their memory and associate it with the actual movie. Not really an unheard of phenomenon, but I think it's clear enough that he's saying, "Get out of the room," to Lambert in the final film, and closed captions support that. But I do really wonder if there are any Alien fans out there who would dispute that. I wonder if there are any fans who believe maybe he is saying "God damn you" to the alien. So, dear viewers, I'll leave it to the comments section. Cast your vote below. Get out of the room, or God damn you. For this video, I double-checked the captioning on all the home video versions of Alien I had available, and for the most part they are aligned with the former option. The DVD version confirms the dialogue, "Get out of the room," while the Blu-ray captioning adopts the more colloquial, "Get out of the room," but the sentiment remains the same. I have to admit there are inconsistencies, however. I have a VHS copy that seems to think Parker is saying, "Get it out," and the automatic captions on the iTunes digital copy have him saying, "Get ready to roll." So, those are some alternative voting options, if you prefer. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and you can also subscribe for all the latest videos from Alien Theory. A very, very special thanks goes out to WEYLAND YUTANI executives, EmYarUk, and Lady Anne, part of the Patreon Hive. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for exclusive posts and contests. In the meantime, you can catch up with Alien Theory over social media. Follow @alien_theory on Twitter and @alientheoryyt on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.